Lee Seon-woo, 68, retired firefighter, watched from the waiting seats as a familiar scene unfolded. At counter 3, an elderly couple raised their voices. The mid-70s pair held hands, protesting with trembling voices. "What do you mean? Decades of savings gone?" Their cry echoed through the bank. The grandfather's voice was surprisingly strong for his age, but the despair was unmistakable. "We saved this money so carefully. How could this happen?" The grandmother clung to her husband's arm, beginning to sob. "Honey, what do we do? We can't tell the children. We're such fools." Her voice grew smaller until only sniffling filled the bank. The counter employee, a woman in her late 20s, looked troubled. "I'm sorry, but this issue exceeds my authority." She bowed repeatedly, but offered no solutions. "Please wait. I'll get the assistant manager." Waiting customers murmured anxiously. "What's happening now? Banks are causing so much trouble these days. What if that happens to us?" Seon-woo quietly observed. Having spent her life as a firefighter witnessing despair, anger, and helplessness at accident scenes, this scene was all too familiar. She saw overlapping images of fire victims who lost everything, families wailing over delayed rescues. Minutes later, assistant manager Kang Jae-hoon, 47, appeared. Well-pressed shirt, neat tie, formal smile that didn't reach his eyes. Rather, he looked annoyed. "What's the problem?" Kang's voice was cold and dry, like reading from a manual. The grandfather extended trembling papers. "Assistant manager, money disappeared from our account. Over 20 million won. We know nothing about how." Kang skimmed the documents, then dismissively pushed them back. "According to regulations, our bank isn't responsible. Your signatures are all here. You were careless in verification." The bank's air froze. The grandmother gasped, leaning on her husband, as the grandfather's face turned pale. "What? What do you mean?" The grandfather's voice cracked. "When did we sign such things?" "Look here," Kang continued coldly. "Investment product agreement, risk disclosure, all with your signatures. We processed everything according to regulations. But we never signed up for investment products," the grandfather shouted. "We just came to open a savings account." Kang's expression grew colder. "Are you claiming your signatures were forged? Then report to police." "We handled everything legally." Other customers averted their gazes. Some pretended to check phones, others stared outside. Even other counter employees kept their heads down silently. The grandmother burst into tears. "This is our life savings. Supporting children's education, weddings, saving so carefully." Her voice faded. "Now we're old, need money for medical bills." "Don't appeal to emotions," Kang said coldly. "This is business necessity. Investment carries risks, and we explained that sufficiently." "When did we say we wanted to invest?" the grandfather shouted, fists trembling. "We only came to open a savings account." That's when Seon-woo's eyes sharpened. Having spent her life rushing into flames, saving people, this scene was painfully familiar. The moment injustice is ignored. The powerful trampling the powerless. Justice kneeling before money and status. Seon-woo slowly stood. Her movement was quiet, but carried weighty presence. Despite being 68, her shoulders remained straight, emanating the unique aura of someone who never cowered before danger. "Wait." Seon-woo's voice rang through the bank. All eyes focused on her. Kang turned with an irritated expression. "Other customers shouldn't interfere in unrelated matters." "Unrelated?" Power entered Seon-woo's voice. "This is a bank, they're customers, and I'm a customer. There's no law preventing customers from helping other customers." The elderly couple looked at Seon-woo with hopeful eyes. Other waiting customers began stirring. Seon-woo walked slowly toward the counter. "Assistant manager, I heard strange things in that conversation. They came to open savings accounts, not investment products. How did they end up with investments?" Kang's expression hardened. "Customer, this involves other customers' personal information. Don't interfere." "Personal information? You're discussing this loudly here. When these elderly people need help, can't other customers assist?" Kang showed signs of panic. Even so, assistant manager, Xian Wu's voice turned colder. I've worked in public service my whole life, seen many incidents. I can guess what's happening here. The bank fell silent. Everyone held their breath, waiting for Xian Wu's next words. Did some employee here sell investment products to elderly people while disguising them as savings accounts? Xian Wu's voice was calm, but everyone could feel the anger within. Kang's face momentarily stiffened. No such thing. No such thing. So these elderly people are lying. Lifelong. Honest people suddenly came here to commit fraud. The grandfather spoke with a trembling voice. That's right. We really just came for savings. But the employee said there was a better rate product. Who was the employee? Xian Wu asked. The grandfather pointed to the counter. There, that young woman. All eyes focused on the counter employee. The young woman's face went pale. Xian Wu sent a sharp look at the employee. Employee, how exactly did you explain to these elderly people? Did you clearly say investment product? Or did you say it was a type of savings? The employee began stammering. Answer. Authority filled Xian Wu's voice. Did you deceive elderly people into buying risky investment products or not? Kang quickly intervened. Customer, are you interrogating our employee? This seems excessive. Excessive. You steal lifelong savings from elderly people through deception and call. Pointing it out excessive. Then what isn't excessive? Is deceiving elders normal, while criticizing it excessive? The bank atmosphere rapidly changed. Other waiting customers began murmuring. Right, exactly. Banks do that these days. This could happen to us. Those poor grandparents. Xian Wu faced Kang directly. Assistant manager, solve this problem immediately. Give proper explanation and apology to these elderly people, and return their lost money. That's impossible, Kang said stiffly. Money already invested depends on market conditions. Market conditions? After deceiving them into investing, you blame market conditions. You should have been honest from the start. Sir, this is an investment product with loss risks. Will you still proceed? The grandmother burst into tears again. If they had said that, we never would have done it. Xian Wu approached and patted the grandmother's shoulder. Grandmother, don't cry. This isn't your fault. Then turning back to Kang, assistant manager, I'll ask one last time. How will you solve this problem? Irritation was clear on Kang's face. As I said, our bank did nothing wrong. Xian Wu cut him off. Nothing wrong? Fine then. I'll report to the Financial Supervisory Service immediately. Consumer Protection Agency, Media. I'll contact everyone about this. XX Bank deceives elderly people into buying risky investment products. Kang's face went white. That's... Why? If you did nothing wrong, you should be confident. Xian Wu pulled out her phone. Should I make the report call now? Complete silence filled the bank. Everyone held their breath watching this standoff. After hesitating several seconds, Kong finally spoke. Wait. I'll review this again. Review? What's there to review? Wasn't everything already decided? Kang said with a flustered expression. I'll check internally once more. Check what? Solve it right now. Xian Wu's voice grew stronger. How long must these elderly people wait? They've suffered enough, wait more? Then another bank customer stood up. Right, solve it immediately. Others began voicing support. This is too much. You can't do business this way. How can we trust banks if we're anxious? Kang was completely flustered. The situation had escaped his control. Xian Wu delivered the final blow. Assistant manager, decide. Will you solve this problem now, or shall I make this a bigger issue? I've fought injustice my whole life and have plenty of time. I'm prepared to go all the way. At that moment, Kang's shoulders sagged. He finally surrendered, bowing his head. Understood. I'll review internally and find the best solution for the customers. But Xian Wu wasn't satisfied. Not review, present a solution now. How long must they wait? 1 week. No, I'll contact them within 3 days. 3 days? Tomorrow. Contact these elderly people with a clear solution by tomorrow. Otherwise, you'll face serious consequences. Kang reluctantly nodded. Understood. Sion-woo approached the elderly couple. If they don't contact you tomorrow, call me immediately. I'll take full responsibility. The grandfather spoke with a trembling voice. Thank you. Truly thank you. Without you. Sion-woo grasped the grandfather's hand. I just did what was right. You did nothing wrong, so don't blame yourselves. Then she addressed everyone in the bank loudly. Everyone, remember, if we don't speak up, no one will protect us. When facing injustice, never endure, silently fight to the end. That's our only option. Leaving the bank, Sion-woo looked at the falling snow outside. Snow continued falling, but warm fire burned in her heart. Having devoted her life to saving others, today, she was given another chance to save someone. But this was only the beginning. Sion-woo knew how often such incidents occurred, how most people couldn't even voice complaints and suffered in silence. Now let's begin the real work. A cold smile crossed Sion-woo's lips. The 68-year-old retired firefighter was preparing to face new flames. Looking outside, yesterday's snow had stopped, but roads remained frozen. He said he'd contact by today. Her phone rang. An unfamiliar number. Hello? Are you? The person who helped us at the bank yesterday. A trembling voice, yesterday's grandfather. Yes. Did the bank contact you already? No. Not yet. His voice shook more. Could we meet briefly? We need to talk. Of course. Where shall we meet? An hour later, Sion-woo sat with the elderly couple at a small cafe. Park Chul-soo, 74, and Lee Soon-ja, 71, had swollen eyes from a sleepless night. We're truly grateful. Without you yesterday. Soon-ja's eyes welled up. What made you call so early? Chul-soo spoke heavily. After going home yesterday, we noticed more strange things. What things? When the employee took signatures, she kept rushing us. Hurry, other customers are waiting, giving no time to read documents properly. Soon-ja nodded. Right. And she had stamps ready beforehand. It's just savings anyway. I'll process it quickly. Sion-woo's expression hardened. So you couldn't properly review the documents. We thought it was just savings. But thinking back last night, something felt wrong. Chul-soo pulled out crumpled papers. Looking again, it says investment product. But they didn't explain properly then. Sion-woo examined the document's complex financial terms. Ordinary people couldn't understand. This is clear mis-selling. They got signatures without proper explanation. Mis-selling? Soon-ja asked. Selling financial products without properly explaining risks and content. It's illegal. The couple's faces brightened. So what happened to us was really wrong. Absolutely. You're victims. Sion-woo spoke firmly. If the bank doesn't contact today, I'll take direct action. Then Sion-woo's phone rang, the bank calling. Hello? Customer, this is about yesterday's incident at our bank. Kang's voice, somewhat softer than yesterday. Yes, assistant manager. What results? After internal review, there were some inadequacies in the product sales process. Inadequacies? Specifically what inadequacies? There were insufficient explanations. Kang trailed off. Assistant manager, speak clearly. Are you acknowledging mis-selling or not? Silence, then reluctantly, some. Procedural issues were identified. Then what's the solution? If customers wish, we could guarantee the principal. Sion-woo looked at Chul-soo and Soon-ja. Hope bloomed on their faces. Only principal guarantee, no compensation for mental distress and time loss? That's... Kang panicked. Assistant manager, you can't just brush this off. Proper apology and appropriate compensation are needed. Understood. I'll review again. By when? By this afternoon. Good. Final answer by 3 p.m. And apologize directly to the elderly couple. After hanging up, Sion-woo faced the couple. You should recover your principal. Really? Soon-ja cried. Thank you so much. But Sion-woo's expression remained stern. This isn't the end. We must prevent this happening again. What do you mean? Chul-soo asked. This isn't just your problem. There are surely other victims people scammed this way. Soonja nodded. Right. Others in our apartment complex had similar experiences. Who? Next door grandmother had similar trouble. And the grandfather on fourth floor. Sion Wu's eyes sharpened. This could be systematic. At 2 p.m., Sion Wu revisited the bank. Not alone this time. Besides Chul Su and Soonja Kim, Young Sik, 69, and Choi Jung Suk, 66, from the same apartment complex joined similar victims. Entering the bank, the atmosphere differed from yesterday. Employees recognized Sion Wu and looked tense. Counter-employee Yoon Ga-young, 35, watched Sion Wu nervously. Yesterday's confident presence had impressed her. Ga-young wanted to help the elderly couple but feared losing her job. Yet this stranger fearlessly confronted the manager. Kang Jae-hoon appeared, expression darker than yesterday. Welcome. We were going to contact this afternoon. The situation changed. Sion Wu indicated other elderly people. These people suffered similar damage. Kang's face went pale. What do you mean? These grandparents all came for savings, but were enrolled in investment products. Quite a coincidence. Young Sik spoke tremblingly. I just came to open another savings account. But the employee said better rates. Young Suk added, I never heard investment. They called it special savings. The bank atmosphere turned icy. Other waiting customers began murmuring. Customer, you don't need to interfere in personal matters, Kang said frantically. That's not right. Sion Wu's voice grew firmer. When there's fire, seeing who extinguished sparks can save lives or cost them. This isn't about money, it's about responsibility. People in the bank murmured. Though a small elderly woman, her eyes blazed like unquenchable fire. Ga-young was moved by Sion Wu's appearance. She felt ashamed of her helplessness, watching unfair treatment of customers. She knew mis-selling targeting elderly customers was increasing, but remained silent under supervisory pressure. Kang reddened and shouted, These are bank regulations. I didn't make them. You're using regulations as a shield. Sion Wu's voice turned cold. But in fires, conscience saves lives, not regulations. Conscience? Kang sneered. Business is business, right? Everything's in contracts. Whose fault for not reading? Sion Wu's eyes flashed. Written in contracts. Are you saying these people can't read? That's not what I meant. Then what? Sion Wu stepped closer. You think people in their 70s can fully understand contracts full of complex financial terms? Kang stammered. Even so. Even so what? So it's okay to deceive them? Then Ga-young courageously stood up. Assistant manager. Her voice trembled. Ga-young, stay quiet now, Kang said irritably. But Ga-young continued, I need to say something. Talk later. I should say it now. Ga-young's voice grew firmer. All eyes focused on Ga-young. Taking a deep breath, she spoke. Actually, we were instructed to use high-yield savings when recommending investment products to elderly customers. Complete silence fell. Kang's face went white. Ga-young, what are you doing? Ga-young continued, and when they tried reading explanations carefully, we were told to say, it takes too long, it's simple product. Sion Wu nodded at Ga-young. Please continue. Since elderly people don't know investments well, we were told to make them think it was just a type of savings. Ga-young, Kang shouted. What nonsense are you talking? It's not nonsense. Ga-young's voice rose too. You directly instructed this, saying, we have no choice to meet KPIs. The bank buzzed. Other customers looked shocked. Sion Wu faced Kang directly. Assistant manager, seems you have no excuses left. Kang glared at Ga-young frantically. Are you betraying me? Not betrayal, conscience. Ga-young's voice trembled but was firm. I can't stand it anymore. I can't sleep every night, thinking about deceiving innocent elderly people. Sion Wu approached and patted Ga-young's shoulder. Well done. You did something courageous. Turning back to Kang, what will you do now? Systematic fraud is revealed. Color completely drained from Kang's face. That's no more excuses needed. Seon-woo pulled out her phone. I'm reporting to Financial Supervisory Service immediately for systematic mis-selling. Wait, Kang desperately stopped her. I'll discuss again. Discuss what? Too late. Seon-woo began dialing. Then another customer stood up. I suffered similarly too. Another rose. My father had the same experience. Instantly, the bank became chaotic. Victim cases poured out everywhere. Seon-woo announced loudly, "Everyone, please organize your damage details. We'll file collective complaints." Kang went into complete panic. Wait, let's negotiate." "Negotiate?" Seon-woo smiled coldly. "I already gave all chances. Only legal action remains." Ga Young spoke tremblingly. "Ma'am, I'll testify too. I recorded all internal instructions." Seon-woo grasped Ga Young's hand. "Thank you. People like you give hope." Then the bank president appeared. President Kim Sang-chul, 55, quickly approached Seon-woo after assessing the situation. "Customer, I apologize. I'll handle this personally." Even the president appears. Seon-woo spoke coldly. "But it's too late. This isn't a personal problem. It's systematic criminal activity." Kim panicked. "Criminal? That's rather extreme." "Extreme. If systematically defrauding elderly people isn't criminal, what is?" The president was speechless. The situation had become completely uncontrollable. Seon-woo concluded, "The law will judge now. Stop trying to resolve this secretly." She led the elderly people and Ga Young out of the bank. Behind them, Kang and Kim stood with despairing expressions. Outside, Seon-woo breathed deeply in the cold air. Larger flames burned in her eyes. "This is just the beginning." Seon-woo told the elderly people, "I don't know how often such things happen, but we can change things by speaking up." Chul-soo spoke emotionally. "Thank you, truly. Without you, we all did this together." Ga Young's courage, your determination, other victims' voices together made it possible. Ga Young cried, I'll probably lose my job now. It's okay. You did right, so good results will surely follow, and I'll help you. That evening, Seon-woo sat at her computer at home. She accessed the Financial Supervisory Service website and began writing complaint reports. She organized victims' names, damage details, and evidence materials one by one. This is not personal mistake or accidental incident. This is systematic, planned financial fraud. We request thorough investigation and severe punishment to prevent further victims. 2 days after filing with the Financial Supervisory Service, Seon-woo's phone rang loudly before 7 a.m. "Hello? Is this Lee Seon-woo? I'm Jung Min-ho, investigative reporter from MBC. I'm calling about your FSS report. Can we talk briefly?" Seon-woo answered calmly, having expected this. "Yes, fine. We're investigating systematic mis-selling at XX Bank branch. Could you do an interview? For public interest reporting. We'll protect your identity." "Identity protection isn't necessary. I'll speak openly, face showing." Reporter Jung was surprised by Seon-woo's firm voice. "Really? Most people want anonymity. No need to hide. What did I do wrong?" Simultaneously, an emergency meeting was underway at XX Bank Headquarters Executive Suite. Bank President Kim Sang-chul, 55, and all major executives attended. The atmosphere was cold and heavy. How did this happen? Vice President Park Dae-soo, 58, glared at Kim Sang-chul. Kim answered frantically, "It was just a simple complaint. From a regional branch. I never expected it would grow this big." Simple complaint? When reports reach the Financial Supervisory Service, you call it simple. Legal team leader Lee Sung-ho, 49, shuffled through documents. The problem is internal employee testimony. She's stating there were systematic instructions. "Who gave such testimony?" Kim asked urgently. "Counter-employee named Yoon Ga-young. She testified receiving direct instructions from assistant manager, Kang Jae-hoon." Kim's face went pale. "Can we fire her immediately?" Sung-ho shook his head. Firing her now would look like retaliation, creating bigger problems. Park slammed the table. This is all your fault. Can't even manage regional branches properly. I didn't know about this. Didn't know? Park's voice sharpened. Who instructed excessive sales pressure to meet KPIs? Isn't this the result? The room fell silent. Everyone knew this truth, but nobody had spoken it. Risk management team leader Choi Jin-woo, 46, spoke carefully. Actually, investment product sales targeting elderly customers have surged recently. Other branches are similar, so similar problems could emerge at other branches. Park panicked. Jin-woo nodded. It's possible. Kim said hastily. Then we should immediately instruct all branches. Too late, Sung-ho interrupted. Media already knows. Kim's secretary rushed in. President MBC called requesting coverage. The room froze completely. Meanwhile, XX Bank's XX branch had an entirely different atmosphere. Assistant manager Kang Jae-hoon, 47, locked his office door, making calls. Brother, big trouble. Jae-hoon's voice trembled completely. What happened? City Councilman Kang Jae-sung's 52 voice came through. That old woman reported to Financial Supervisory Service. Even media involved. Jae-sung's voice turned cold. What did I say? Handle it quietly. I tried, but that woman was so persistent. Can't even stop one old woman, Jae-sung shouted. If this goes wrong, I could get involved too. Jae-hoon spoke desperately. Brother, what should I do? First, shut that old woman up. If money doesn't work, other methods. Other methods? What did that woman do before? I heard she was a firefighter. Retired. Jae-sung's voice grew more sinister. Firefighters get pensions, right? Apply pressure through that. Simultaneously, Seon-woo watched TV news at home. Ex-bank coverage was beginning. Mis-selling allegations targeting elderly customers at XX. Bank's XX branch are emerging. Victims claim they went to open savings accounts, but were enrolled in investment products. Watching news, Seon-woo's phone rang. Chul-soo grandfather calling. Ma'am, it's on TV. Yes, I'm watching too. But ma'am, Chul-soo's voice grew anxious. Strange people have been coming and going near our house. Seon-woo's expression hardened. What kind of people? Unknown people. They kept looking at our house. Be careful for now and call immediately if anything strange happens. After hanging up, Seon-woo couldn't hide her unease. But she had no intention of backing down. Next afternoon, Seon-woo visited MBC station for an interview with reporter Young Min-ho. Ms. Lee Seon-woo, hello. Thank you for coming personally. It's only right. The interview began. What led you to get involved in this issue? No special reason. I just couldn't stand watching. Seon-woo's voice was calm. As someone who fought injustice all my life, I couldn't stay still seeing unfairness before my eyes. The bank claims they followed legal procedures. Legal and just are different. Seon-woo's eyes sharpened. Is deceiving people in their 70s by selling complex investment products as savings really just? After the interview, leaving the station, Seon-woo told reporter Young, Reporter, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm certain similar things happen at other branches, other banks. Then bigger investigation is needed. Yes, and contact me anytime if I can help. At that moment, XX Bank's XX branch was in emergency mode. Jae-hoon's voice grew increasingly rough. He had long dominated situations through authority, with nobody daring to oppose him. But now was different. Gathering all employees, Jae-hoon shouted, You all know whose fault this is. Yoon Ga-young. Because you opened your mouth, we're in this mess. Ga-young kept her head down but didn't yield. I spoke because it was wrong. Wrong? Jae-hoon sneered. What did we do wrong? We did it for sales performance. Do you think deceiving elderly people for sales performance is right? Jae-hoon's face reddened. Deceived? Everything's written in contracts. But you didn't explain properly. You directly instructed this. Then the bank door opened as Seon-woo entered. Behind her followed Chul-soo, Soon-ja, and several other victims. Seeing Seon-woo, Jae-hoon's face contorted. Why are you here again? To give you a final chance. Sion Wu's voice was calm but authoritative. Final chance? If you don't return the elderly couple's money today, this place will become a scene where your corruption is exposed. Sion Wu spoke quietly but firmly. People in the bank began taking out phones to record. Bystanders were becoming witnesses. Jae-hoon's eyes wavered. What he feared most wasn't customers but reputation. If rumors spread to headquarters, his long-built position could crumble. What exactly do you want? The force left Jae-hoon's voice. Simple. Properly apologize to victims and compensate losses. That's impossible. Already invested money. Impossible. Sion Wu stepped closer. Then submitting the video I just recorded to media wouldn't be impossible either. Jae-hoon panicked. When did you record? From the beginning. I recorded everything from you intimidating employees. Yoon Ga-young seized the moment. With trembling but courageous voice, Assistant Manager, let me recheck the system. There's likely a system error. Jae-hoon glared at her, but the atmosphere was already shifting. System error, what nonsense? Not nonsense. Ga-young's voice grew firm. If system errors are actually found, the bank must take responsibility. Then Bank President Kim Sang-chul rushed in, face pale. What's all this commotion? Sion Wu looked at Kim. The president came personally. Good. The responsible party should resolve this. Kim tried to assess the situation, but Sion Wu spoke first. President, this branch conducted systematic mis-selling, targeting elderly customers. There's sufficient evidence and internal witnesses. No such thing. Will you deny it? Sion Wu showed her phone. The assistant manager's statements were just recorded. Kim's face grew paler. Then what should be done? Simple. Sincerely apologize to victim customers, provide full compensation, and establish systems preventing recurrence. Kim glared at Jae-hoon. Assistant Manager Kang, what is all this? Jae-hoon tried excusing himself, but Ga-young spoke first. President, everything was the assistant manager's instruction. He told us to call investment products high-yield savings to elderly customers and not explain investment risks. Kim looked shocked. Really? Yes, I can testify. Jae-hoon hastily excused. That was for sales performance. Sales performance? Kim's voice rose. You think deceiving customers for sales performance is acceptable? That's not what I meant. Kim cut him off. Assistant Manager Kang, you're immediately suspended. The bank fell quiet. Everyone watched this dramatic moment. Sion Wu told Kim, I applaud the president's decisiveness. But this isn't enough. What more is needed? You must investigate possibilities of similar occurrences at other nationwide branches and establish comprehensive compensation systems for victims. Kim nodded. Understood. I'll do that. You promise? Yes, I promise. Sion Wu looked at the elderly couples. Did you hear? The president promised directly. Chul-soo spoke emotionally. Really? Thank you so much. Soonja also nodded through tears, but Sion Wu's expression remained guarded. She knew the real fight was just beginning. That evening, an emergency meeting was held at City Councilman Kang. Jae-sung's office. Everything's ruined. Jae-sung slammed his desk. Brother, I'm sorry. Jae-hoon bowed his head. Sorry doesn't fix this. Now I might get involved too. Then Jae-sung's aide entered. Councilman, there might be a way. That Lee Sion-woo woman is former firefighter. Investigating her past might reveal something. 30 years as firefighter means various incidents occurred. We could find controversial ones. That's it. Jae-sung sneered. Show reality to that old woman playing hero. That night, Sion-woo sat at her laptop organizing materials. She investigated not just XX Bank, but similar cases at other banks. This really is just the tip of the iceberg. Mis-selling targeting elderly people was rampant nationwide. At 5 a.m. next day, Sion-woo woke to urgent phone call. Yoon Ga-young's trembling voice came through. Ma'am, big trouble. I rechecked the system. What happened? Tell me step by step. Park Chul-soo and Lee Soonja's accounts. The money didn't disappear. Sion Wu bolted upright. What? It wasn't transferred to investment products. It was incorrectly displayed due to system error. Actually, it's still in their savings account. After hanging up, Sion Wu immediately called Chul Su. Sir, go to the bank right now. There might be a big reversal. An hour later, XX Bank's XX branch had a completely different atmosphere from yesterday. Assistant Manager Kang Jae-hoon, 47, locked his office door, making frantic calls. Brother, it's really over now. They say system error was discovered. City Councilman Kang Jae-sung's 52 cold voice came through. What? System error? That Yoonga young woman searched the system and found the money never actually disappeared. Investment product registration was falsely recorded too. Then what have you been doing all this time? Jae-sung's voice exploded. You mean you tried to swindle customers by deceiving them? That's not it. It was really system error. Don't lie, I know everything. Jae-hoon's face went pale. Brother, what should I do? Deny everything first. Say that old woman escalated the problem. Then the bank door opened as Sion Wu entered. Behind her followed the Chul Su and Soonja couple, several other victims, and even MBC News crew. Assistant Manager. Sion Wu's voice echoed throughout the bank. Jae-hoon emerged from his office. His face already showed defeat. What's this about? Jae-hoon's voice had no force at all. Let's recheck the system. Sion Wu spoke calmly but authoritatively. Yoonga Young stepped forward, speaking with trembling but determined voice. Assistant Manager, I rechecked the system. What did you check? Park Chul-soo and Lee Soonja's accounts. Actually, their money never disappeared. The bank fell silent. All eyes focused on Ga Young. What are you talking about? Jae-hoon asked frantically. Ga Young pointed to the computer screen. Look here. The money is actually still in their savings account. Investment product registration was falsely entered too. Chul-soo asked incredulously, You mean our money didn't disappear? Yes, correct. The money was safe from the beginning. Soonja collapsed and burst into tears. Oh my. Oh my. But Sion Wu's expression grew colder. Then what have you been doing all this time? All eyes focused on Jae-hoon. He couldn't speak, as if frozen. Assistant Manager. Sion Wu's voice sharpened further. Why did you say the money was gone when you knew it hadn't disappeared? That's... Answer. Sion Wu's voice echoed throughout the bank. Then the MBC reporter held up a microphone. Assistant Manager, did you deliberately deceive customers? Jae-hoon panicked completely. No, I really thought it was system error. You thought it was system error? Sion Wu sneered. Then why didn't you properly verify before telling customers it was gone? That's... Yoonga Young courageously spoke up. Assistant Manager knew from the beginning. Everyone looked at Ga Young in shock. What? Jae-hoon shouted. Last night I checked the system and reported to you. I told you the money was actually there. Complete silence fell over the bank. Camera zoomed in on Jae-hoon's pale face. So, Chul-soo said with trembling voice, You deliberately deceived us. Jae-hoon tried to make excuses, but Sion Wu spoke first. Eventually, system error was discovered. Sion Wu's voice was calm but authoritative. The elderly couple's retirement funds were still in their account, with only transfer records incorrectly recorded. However, once this small fact was revealed, Jae-hoon's authority crumbled instantly. All force disappeared from his face, shoulders sagging. But there's another problem. Sion Wu continued. Assistant Manager knew this fact, but still deceived customers. The elderly couple shed tears of relief while surrounding customers applauded. But Sion Wu didn't smile at the applause. Then Bank President Kim Sang-chul, 55, rushed in. Understanding the situation, his face contorted with anger. Assistant Manager Kang, what is all this? Jae-hoon tried making excuses, but Ga Young spoke first. President Assistant Manager has known the truth since yesterday, but he kept lying to customers. Kim glared at Jae-hoon and shouted, Is this true? President, that's not. If that's not it, then what? Kim's voice rose higher. If customer money is perfectly safe, but you lied, saying it was gone, what do you call that? Then Sion Wu looked directly at Jae-hoon with cold voice. People's money isn't just numbers. It's their life, sweat and tears. What you did today to that elderly couple wasn't simple. Mistake you ignored human lives. Jae-hoon's face went pale, hands trembling. He looked as powerless as rookie firefighter before flames. And more seriously, Sion Wu continued, this likely happened to other customers too. Kim asked in surprise, other customers too? Yoon Ga-young nodded. Yes, I found several suspicious cases. Then Jae-hoon suddenly shouted, stop, it's all lies. Everyone stared at Jae-hoon. His face was distorted with anger and despair. Lies, Sion Wu asked coldly. Yes, all this is fabricated. You plotted to trap me. The bank fell silent momentarily. Everyone was flustered by Jae-hoon's desperate claims. NBC reporter held up microphone. You say, fabrication specifically, what was fabricated? System records fabricated. Yoon Ga-young bribed. All planned to frame me. Ga-young looked bewildered. Assistant manager, what are you saying? Your accomplice too. Got paid for false testimony, didn't you? Ga-young's face went pale. How can you think of me like that? Sion Wu stepped toward Jae-hoon. Are you trying to blame others for your mistakes now? Mistakes? What did I do wrong? Jae-hoon's voice turned hysterical. If deceiving customers isn't wrong, what would you call it? Where's evidence I deceived? It's all speculation. Then Ga-young pulled out recorder from her bag. Here's evidence. Everyone stared at the recorder. What's this? Kim asked. Recording of yesterday's conversation with assistant manager. Ga-young's voice was firm. Jae-hoon's face went white. When did you? Ga-young played the recording. Jae-hoon's voice came through clearly. Ga-young, only we know about this. Never tell customers. But assistant manager, shouldn't we inform customers? No need to inform. We can handle it ourselves anyway. After recording ended, complete silence filled the bank. Jae-hoon stood frozen like statue. Sion Wu spoke coldly. Now it's clear who's lying. Kim shouted angrily, Kang Jae-hoon, you're immediately fired. President, Jae-hoon screamed desperately. No more excuses. You not only damaged our bank's reputation, but deceived customers. Jae-hoon knelt pleading, President, please. I have family too. But Kim turned away. If you have family, you should have lived more honorably. Then suddenly Jae-hoon stood and shouted at Sion Wu. This is all your fault. None of this would have happened if you hadn't appeared. My fault? Sion Wu asked calmly. Yes, you interfered unnecessarily and ruined everything. Sion Wu looked directly at Jae-hoon. I interfered. Is pointing out injustice interference? What injustice? It's business. Everyone does it this way. Everyone does it this way? Sion Wu's voice turned cold. So you're saying deceiving elderly people is normal business? Jae-hoon was speechless. He realized what he had said. NBC reporter aimed camera at Jae-hoon. Do you mean fraud targeting elderly is common? Jae-hoon panicked and waved hands. No, that's not what I meant. Then what did you mean? Sion Wu pressed. Jae-hoon went into complete panic. Just. Then Chul-soo spoke tremblingly. Did we look that easy to you? Jae-hoon looked at Chul-soo. The old man's eyes held sadness more than anger. We're people who lived earnestly all our lives, raised children, served society. But is it okay to ignore us like this just because we're old? Soonja also cried, did you think you could deceive us because we're ignorant? All color drained from Jae-hoon's face. He couldn't say anything. Sion Wu concluded, authority isn't something to wield carelessly. True authority comes from people's trust. But you abandoned that trust yourself. Jae-hoon slumped as if all strength left him. His authority completely collapsed. Kim addressed all employees. Today's events must be lesson for all of us. Deceiving customers must never happen. He deeply bowed to Chul-soo and Soonja couple, apologizing. I'm truly sorry. I'll ensure this never happens again. Seon Woo told Kim words aren't enough. Concrete prevention measures are needed. What prevention measures do you mean? Full investigation of all branches, victim compensation system establishment, and employee retraining. Kim nodded. I'll implement everything. That evening, after everything concluded, Seon-woo returned home. But her heart wasn't at peace. This isn't the end, Seon-woo murmured. She knew how many people like Kang Jae-hoon existed nationwide. Today's victory was just the beginning of bigger fight. Seon-woo's phone rang. Calls from people nationwide who suffered similar damage kept coming endlessly. Yes, this is Lee Seon-woo. Ma'am, please help us too. We suffered similar experiences. Seon-woo took deep breath. War against bigger fires was beginning for the 68-year-old retired firefighter. 3 months later, Mom, NBC requested special program appearance. Yoon. Ga-young, 35, said while answering phones at Seon-woo's house. Ga-young had quit XX Bank and was helping Seon-woo's activities. Her courageous testimony became the starting point for nationwide banking reform, and she now had a new job at the Financial Consumer Protection Agency. Special program? Seon-woo asked, setting down her teacup. Yes, current affairs investigation is covering nationwide bank. Mis-selling targeting elderly. They want you as main guest. Seon-woo pondered briefly. In 3 months, she had directly helped over 50 cases. Seoul, Busan, Daegu, Gwangju, wherever help was requested, she went. But opponents weren't giving up either. Ga-young, any news about City Councilman Kang Jae-sung plotting something? Ga-young's expression darkened. Something strange happened. What? Someone's investigating your past firefighting records. Seon-woo's eyes turned cold. As expected, they'd used such tactics. Then Seon-woo's phone rang. Park Chul-soo, 74, calling. Ma'am, big trouble. What happened? City Councilman Kang Jae-sung came to our neighborhood, spreading rumors about you. Seon-woo stood up abruptly. What did he say? He said you failed to properly rescue someone during your firefighting days, causing their death, asking what right such person has to speak of justice. Ga-young looked shocked, but Seon-woo remained calm. Where is he now? At the community center, holding a meeting with residents. Good. I'm coming now. After hanging up, Seon-woo told Ga-young, prepare camera. Let's end everything today. 30 minutes later, Seon-woo and Ga-young arrived at the community center. Inside, City Councilman Kang Jae-sung, 52, held a microphone, speaking passionately. Everyone, do you know who this Lee Seon-woo woman is? She speaks of justice on the surface, but actually... Then the center door opened as Seon-woo entered confidently. All residents turned their heads. Jae-sung's face froze momentarily. You? How did you? I heard you were curious about who I am, so I came to answer directly. Seon-woo's voice was calm but authoritative. The center buzzed. Residents looked between Seon-woo and Jae-sung, trying to understand the situation. Jae-sung said frantically, "This is residents-only gathering. Please leave." Residents only, Seon-woo sneered. Then why are you talking about me? That's... Jae-sung was speechless. Seon-woo addressed village residents. Everyone, I'm Lee Seon-woo. I worked 30 years as firefighter and continue fighting injustice after retirement. One resident raised his hand. But the councilman said past casualties. Casualties, you mean? Seon-woo nodded. Correct. There's someone I couldn't save. The center fell quiet. Victorious smile appeared on Jae-sung's face. His name was Kim Jun-ho, 32 years old. Seon-woo continued. 15 years ago, apartment fire scene where I couldn't save him. Jae-sung interrupted. See, she admits it herself. But Seon-woo didn't stop. Let me explain why I couldn't save him. Reasons don't matter, Jae-sung shouted. Fact is, you caused someone's death. Reasons matter. Seon-woo's voice grew firmer. He was trapped on 5th floor. But there was more urgent situation on 1st floor. Residents listened intently. 12 kindergarten children were trapped on 1st floor. I had to choose, save one person or save 12. Complete silence filled the center. I saved 12 children first. Tried going back up, but ceiling collapsed then. One grandmother asked tearfully, then that person. Yes, I couldn't save him. Sion Wu's voice trembled. Even now, 15 years later, thinking of him keeps me awake. Jae Sung tried interrupting again, but one resident stopped him. But I don't regret it, Sion Wu continued, because 12 children lived. Those children are now adults living earnestly in their positions. Sobbing sounds came from the center. Being firefighter means that. Making choices every moment, taking responsibility for those choices. Can't be perfect, but must do our best. Jae Sung's face went pale. Situation was flowing opposite to his desires. I still contact Kim Jun-ho's family. Visit every anniversary, and they understand my choice. One resident stood and clapped. Others gradually rose, applauding. Jae Sung shouted desperately, "Don't be deceived. This woman is manipulating you now." Manipulation? Sion Wu looked directly at Jae Sung. Then why do you spread such stories? Because truth must be known. If truth is your purpose, why tell only half? Sion Wu's voice sharpened. Why omit saving 12 children? Jae Sung was speechless. And councilman. Sion Wu stepped closer. What's your relationship with Kang Jae-hoon? The center buzzed. That's unrelated. Unrelated, Sion Wu sneered. Brother attacking victim to cover siblings' crime is unrelated. Jae Sung's face reddened. Crime? What did my brother do wrong? Deceiving customers to steal money isn't wrong. That's misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? Sion Wu signaled Gae Young, who played recording on her phone. Jae-hoon's voice echoed through the center. Brother, that old woman ruined everything. Must shut her up somehow. What did I tell you? Dig up that woman's past and shut her up. Complete silence filled the center. All eyes focused on Jae Sung. Jae Sung's face went pale. Where did... Councilman. Sean Wu's voice turned cold. Can public officials threaten citizens this way? One resident stood and shouted, Councilman, what is this? No, it's misunderstanding, Jae Sung panicked. You say misunderstanding, but isn't that recorded voice yours? Another resident asked. Jae Sung went into complete panic. Context was misunderstood. Context, Sion Wu interrupted. In what context do you instruct digging up citizens' past to shut them up? Jae Sung couldn't answer. Then the center door opened as MBC reporter Young Min Ho entered with cameraman. Councilman, could you give interview? Jae Sung stepped back in shock. Why is media? Why here? We received tip that you're spreading false information about Ms. Lee Sion Wu. Jae Sung tried escaping toward exit, but residents blocked him. Councilman, please explain. You've been deceiving citizens while serving as councilman. Jae Sung was completely surrounded, unable to go anywhere. Sion Wu concluded, Councilman, power is for serving citizens, not tool for attacking citizens for personal gain. Jae Sung screamed desperately, What do you know? I protected citizens' lives for 30 years. What have you done for 30 years besides deceiving and threatening citizens? Residents began murmuring, Shouldn't he resign as councilman? Can't believe we voted for this person. Definitely won't vote for him next election. Jae Sung's shoulders sagged. He had lost everything. Days later, Kang Jae-sung resigned from all public positions. Brother Kang Jae-hoon was prosecuted for financial fraud and sentenced to prison. XX Bank underwent nationwide investigation, with hundreds of elderly victims receiving compensation. Other banks voluntarily began examining similar cases. Yoon Ga-young started fresh at Financial Consumer Protection Agency, dedicating herself to helping victims. And Sion Wu. 6 months later, Sion Wu appeared as witness at National Assembly audit. Financial Committee was discussing prevention, measures for financial fraud targeting elderly. What alternatives do you propose for solving this problem? Sion Wu answered calmly at the microphone. First, mandatory recording during financial product sales. Second, operating dedicated consultation windows for elderly customers. Third, mandatory financial education. Fourth, strengthening victim relief systems. Specific implementation plans. Utilize retirees like me. Experienced retirees with time can serve as financial ombudsman. Applause erupted in the audit hall. After audit, Sion Wu interviewed with reporters in National Assembly lobby. Ms. Lee Sion Wu, what are your future plans? I'll continue. As long as injustice exists, I'll keep fighting. Aren't you worried about age? Sion Wu smiled. What does age matter in fighting injustice? Body ages, but heart for justice remains strong. That evening, Sion Wu dined with Park Chul-soo and Lee Soon-ja couple. They had become like family. Thanks to you, we're living new lives, Chul-soo expressed gratitude. What did I do? It was possible because you showed courage. Soon-ja held Sion Wu's hand. Thank you truly. With people like you, world is still worth living. Leaving the bank that day, Sion Wu looked up at the sky. Cold winter wind blew, but her heart felt warm. She murmured, body ages, but flame for justice never dies. After that day, small changes occurred among bank employees. Yoon Ga-young no longer easily bowed before customers and residents. Visiting banks encouraged each other by mentioning Sion Wu's story. Secondly, Sion Wu's began appearing nationwide. More people spoke up instead of enduring injustice. Most importantly, everyone there remembered the moment when one elderly woman's courageous words brought down power and established justice. 1 year later, Sion Wu received presidential citation for contribution to social justice realization. In post-ceremony interview, reporter asked, "When was your most rewarding moment?" Sion Wu thought briefly, then answered, "When I first helped that elderly couple at the bank. Every moment since then has been rewarding." Any final words? Sion Wu looked directly at camera. Everyone, don't endure when facing injustice. Remember you're not alone. Show courage and speak up. People will appear to help. And remember the flame for justice never dies. That night, streetlights shone brightly. Behind each light, someone's life, joys and sorrows.